Yeah, he gave an initial tap, which I don't think he entitled to do, but he still hit him, which caused Emo Guy to go wide and off track.
Yeah.
And he never returned the position. So it's kind of like a slam dunk. If he gave the position back, then we wouldn't have been having this discussion, you know?
Yeah. I'm with you.
And like I initially did the steward, and that's what I thought. Ugbar agreed with me, Emo Guy agreed with me, and so did others.
Right, I've sent you that. Yeah.
Cheers, so I thought that's fair. It's only 10 points.
If that's a if it's a unanimous decision at the end of the day, it's.
He was not happy about it, but what am I meant to do? You know,
at the end of the day, what driver is happy with a penalty? Even if they know they're clearly in the wrong, and they'll go, yeah, you know, I'm wrong. They're still never happy with the penalty they receive.
Sterling Moss.
What?
Sterling Moss. He's about the only man that'd ever be happy with a penalty.
I'd rather give the place back than receive a penalty and risk it.
We know that. We saw that at Nürburgring, and then you went straight on.
I hope you weren't going to mention that.
Tap the side of Keegs, then go straight on because his tyres have got too cold and he's got damage.
What didn't help was the Ferrari either.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's alright, I'm getting it back, don't worry.
Come on, Andy.
It's alright, it's gone. It's fine, it's back to normal. I forgot to put it on studio mode. This is why I don't do OBS. These are the little things like this. This is the reason why
OBS is so confusing. If I'd never met G, I'd still not be using OBS and just be streaming straight from PlayStation.
Mate, this is the reason why G started doing our streams. Little things like this.
God,
That's
it
the
annoys
reason
me.
why.
Do you remember
what does OBS stand for?
Oh no, they're picking us up as well. For God's sake, let's mute that. Sorry. They're picking everything up we're saying.
Broadcast software. Open broadcast software. It's alright. I've answered my own question. I googled it.
I'm down as a driver, by the way. What do I need to do to... Oh, right, got it. Yeah.
Or you could share play.
Yeah, you're going to have to share play, aren't you?
No, it would be easier for him to be in the session if there's room for him to be in the session.
Oh, right, yeah.
He'll just have to retire his car. And then press monitor.
Right, I'm going to go into the game. I'm going to go into game chat, so good luck, boys.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah, good luck, Dan.
Good luck to yourself, Dan. I'm sure you'll...
Good luck.
Cheers. Nope.
When does Dan practice?
Not driving cars.
Can you just quickly check the stream? Make sure there's no background noise. Wait 10 seconds. Wait 10 seconds before telling me, because there might be something still there.
What is going on with this?
Well, is the stream silent now? It should be.
I don't care. Gee, I've got my life. Or someone. Because I can't load it up on my flipping... Laptop's being gay. Ah, here we go.
Alright, you'll be live in a second, boys.
Okay.
Are you leading, Matt?
I'll lead if you want me to lead, mate.
Righto.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Yeah, your lead, Matt. Hello, Matt. I've not said hello to you, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself?
Good.
Yeah, you're live, boys.
Welcome to Motive Racing for our round 5, I do believe, of the season here at Long Beach in the evening time. Street race for this week's Clio Cup action in the Tier 1s. You've just seen the Tier 2s a moment ago with Andy and Dan in the commentary box. I'm Matthew Duffin and I'm joined by Kelly Davis and Martin, aka X-Mark. So evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening, Matt.
Good well.
Evening, Matt. Evening, Kelly. How you doing, lads?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you?
All good.
Not bad. Just finished work. Cracking on.
Great to have you both here in the commentary box. You see, just a quick 10-minute practice session at the moment with 13 Clios out on track. And what action we've got tonight. Plenty of drivers with championships still up for grabs. There's going to be plenty of action out on the circuit. Kelly, are you a fan of the circuit?
Yeah, big fan, Matt. Big fan. Like this circuit a lot. Enjoy driving it. Although in the tier twos, I don't know if you guys were watching the tier 2 stream. We've had plenty of sideways action and plenty of guys hitting the tyre barriers. I will refresh people's memory of where incidents happen as we get a little bit further on into the tier 1 action. So yeah, we're on board with John Boy at the moment. Lots of guys here that could do very well this evening. As I said, it's a tricky car to drive, but a rewarding track. As I said, there's a couple of spots on the track where you can go wide and end up having some problems. Some of the tier 2 boys had some epic crashes. I don't think there was a single Clio that had a straight panel on it by the end. So keep an eye out for people sliding around quite a lot this evening.
Indeed, that is to be the case. We could be in some great drama. Watch out for the walls. Race day the other week in Motive Racing's GT5 League. And I tell you what, some of the walls, if you run just a slight bit wide, you end up clattering and hitting hard. Martin, I'll ask the same question to you as I did Kelly. Are you a fan of this circuit?
I am, actually. I got to really like it when we did the GTEs in it not so long ago. It became quite a good one for me, to be fair. I agree with everything that you said, though. That, walls are a very, very dodgy place to be. Although they do keep you online, helps you to stop spinning round. Coming into the section where you've got the water fountain, that's really critical to get down the gears and get through that in a low gear, but come out strong. But yeah, it's a really cool track. It's good at night as well, with the spectacles around and all the lights and stuff, the Ferris wheel and stuff. So it's a nice track.
Indeed it is. It should be fantastic fun to watch tonight. 6.5 minutes left of practice session and no one has yet set a lap time. I will run you through the reverse grid order in just a moment, but first of all I'm going to run you through the current standings of the Tier 1 Clio Cup, and it looks like this at the moment, with the Only G topping the table, 53 points ahead of Morgan. He's currently firmly in the driver's seat so far, and a good Long Beach tonight could see him win the title tonight, I do believe. So Motory Morgan P2, Looty McShooty sits third, 74 points off of the Only G. John Boy fourth, he's 83 points off the back of the Only G. Disco Racing Stu only 5 points off the back of John Boy. He's not having a bad season, so he got promoted. Melted Dazza then just behind him, with Andy sat on 124, only 7 points off the back of Melted Dazza. So can he find a few more places in this championship as we come into the last 4 events of the season? Unorthodox 8 points behind Andy, with shoulders not yet in triple digits yet. Dehuis Rocker, the current Tier 2 champion, down on 82 points. Bod tied up with him on 82, and then you've got Emo Guy on 71. Little Leach not here tonight on 28, with Fury on 25, and Laney, who was a newcomer into the season back at Sakito, on 21 points as well. Fury is here tonight, so hopefully some more points for him in the bag. And guys, the Only G in this video season has just been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's some boy, isn't he? Only G. We talk about him again. He must be the Lewis Hamilton of Project Cars. He's currently got 32 world records on this game, and he's extremely good at multitasking as well, because he normally runs the stream for Motive as well. So he's usually multitasking and driving and going very, very quickly, and being the envy of everybody else. So yes, he's very good at this, but there's also some really other good guys around here. So it's going to be for interesting racing for sure.
Yeah, I'll say the same to that. He's definitely the envy. I will definitely say that. When I see him in my mirrors, I think, oh my god, here comes the G. Get out of the way. Yeah,
I never see him in my mirrors, only when he's laughing at me.
He's absolutely amazing driver. Made a bit of a mistake yesterday in the GTEs though, bless him. He missed coming into the pits, didn't he? So he is human, he's not superhuman.
To be fair to him, he was having, last night in the GTEs, he was having trouble with his steering wheel. So I understand, a common fault with the Logitech steering wheels. It was downshifting 2 gears instead of 1 at a time, and he was also trying to adjust the stream, because we had streaming problems last night with his with his internet connection. So to be fair to G, he was doing three things at once there. You know, he was driving around problems. He was driving around a problem, and fooling around with the stream as well. So a
man of many talents.
Absolutely.
You compare him to Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I know a better driver that springs to mind, but we won't go into that one just yet. John Boy is currently the quickest guy on the circuit at the moment, a tenth ahead of Melted Dazzler, as we see on Orthodox, or Dan Davis, regular commentator, graphics designer, and an all-round good guy. Don't forget the Tier 2 runner-up of last season in this competition to go with it. He said to me before we came on air that you can stop calling me the Tier 2 runner-up as from the end of this season, and I went, no you won't. You'll be the 2005, the Season 5 runner-up, or the formerly known as the Tier 2 runner-up. So he'll never live this one down. But he's currently at P5.
I was going to go with the former. The former Tier 2 champion. That was the term I was going to go for to wind him up. Bless him.
He's a lovely guy, is John Boy. I've got to say, very, very clean driver. I was racing with him around Snetterton and the touring cars on Sunday. We were battling each other a little bit and giving each other space. Yeah, he's a top guy. Very, very clean driver.
John Boy is one of the best drivers I've seen. On this channel, along with yourself, Martin. Fantastic. You can have a good battle with John Boy, like you say. You can have a good. Sorry, Kelly. Yeah, you're in that category now after this season.
Thank you, Matt.
There's only a handful of people. There's G, there's Andy, there's yourself, Xmart, John Boy.
You're talking rubbish now. You're talking absolute rubbish, Matt, because I'm not in that category at all for any stretch of the imagination. But thank you for responding to my prompt anyway.
We provide the entertainment on the commentary. Don't you worry about that one. This is what the fans come to see. Not that.
This is where the real skill is.
Not that Tier 2 rubbish with Dan on commentary. Andy, they come to see Andy on a Tier 2, and then they come to see me and you afterwards. That's who the fans come to see. As there's a minute and a half left of the practice session. We're just about to see John Boy go over the line. Kelly, would you want to take us through a lap?
I was going to. Long Beach here. On your right-hand side is the pit lane. It's hugely long. It's going to be a problem in the feature race because it's very, very, very long pit lane. Move over almost into the pit lane. There we go. Thank you very much. Brake as late as you dare for turn 1. Can be tricky. Touch the apex. But don't run that curve too high. Round the roundabout, water feature, whatever you want to call it, my favourite part of the track, and most people's. As you come round to this right-hander, don't touch the curb because it will send you onto two wheels. This one's tricky. You want to take the curb, but you don't want to run wide. Watch out for that tyre barrier on the left-hand side. This is probably, for me, the worst corner on the track. The apex is unsighted. Brake at the 200-metre board. Try and pick up that apex. Let the car run wide, but bring it back across to the left-hand side of the track. Get ready for the next right-hander. Tricky one, this. Back end will go light, and it will want to drift towards that tyre barrier. You will see people in that tyre barrier tonight. It's in right the wrong place. I keep telling them to move it, but they won't. So it's still there. Long back straight. Again, brake as late as you dare. Try and pick up the curb, but don't run over it. You'll get a slow down. Don't go out to the left-hand side, crash into the wall. Hug this curb all the way round to the tricky hairpin, which you can win and lose loads and loads of time. And that, barring getting to the start-finish straight, is a lap of Long Beach. If you do it quickly... Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on.
If you do it quickly in a Clio, it's in the 129s, somewhere around there. The lap record, incidentally, is in a Dallara D12, which I believe is an Indy car, and it was Castroneves in the Dallara D12, and it was, God, we'll get there in a minute, a 105.2. God, somebody else talk now.
These cars will not hit a 105.2 tonight, that is for sure. But you're right about that tyre wall on that one certain corner. It will catch you out at some point tonight. I guarantee you'll see more than one car in the side of that tyre wall. As we're on board with Motoring Morgan, currently P2. 5/10 down on John Boy's time, about to finish his final run of this practice session. And then we'll go through the grid order. Disco Stu, Xmart. Oh no, Xmart's retired. Anti is on that list, but ignore the Xmart name. He's retired from the racing with us in the commentary box. Disco Stu and G, the only two to not commentate, to not set a lap tonight, as Morgan goes a tenth quicker, but can't improve any more than that one.
Yes, indeed.
Just waiting for the final few drivers to finish their laps.
Yes, indeed. Martin, have you driven these Clios?
I have, yeah, I have. We spoke about it last week. Do you remember? We talked about
probably
it.
did. We probably did. A week's gone by and I've slept since then. So,
they're great cars. They're great cars. I've driven them in the real as well. The Clio Cup 200s. They're unbelievable.
What is it like as a road car?
Pocket rockets. They're unbelievable cars. Really, really nice. Around the track as well. Yeah. So. Yeah, very capable cars they are.
I've seen them in the British Touring Car, following the British Touring Car Championship, but I haven't had a chance to drive a modern Clio, not a Clio Cup, like these ones. So but I expect them to be a quick thing. Matt, do we need to have that reverse grid?
We do. I'm just going through it now. We have James. We have Laney on pole. Excuse me. Laney on pole, Fury second with Emo Guy P3, Bod in fourth, Shoulders fifth, Unorthodox P6 with Andy seventh, Melted Daz at eighth, Disco Racing Stu P9, John Boy 10th, Looty McShooty 11th, Morgan 12th, and the only G P30. Excuse me. Oh, guys, watch last week's stream. Brilliant stream, by the way, last week. I apologise I couldn't be there with you. It was great to listen to, though. Well done on the top job around Brands doing the Tier 1 Clios. That was fantastic stuff.
Enjoyed it. We had a right old. It was 2 peas in a pod, wasn't it, Kelly? We had a good old laugh.
We were talking about XR3Is and that kind of rubbish, you know. So it was all fun. Yes, indeed. We'll probably get to some more of that classic hot hatch chit chat and gaming consoles and all that kind of stuff. And no doubt we'll get into some touring car chit chat and. Highlight how rubbish Matt Neal is as a driver and how rubbish Hondas are. Other lawnmowers are available.
Shots fired there. Shots absolutely fired. Savage, savage banter from Kelly.
Right at you.
I was speaking with Dan the other night, and this was off air and off anything. And I was sat there with Dan, and I says, "Do you know what? I've got commentators I've commentated with in the past, and not many, but a few." And I says, "I commentate. There's 3 I can pinpoint, 4 to push. One's my friend who I love commentating with, brilliant. Then you've got Andy, such a serious professional. But when you listen to me and Andy commentate, we just scream at everything. Everything's yelled. Nothing's quiet. Everything's screaming at the top of our lungs. Brilliant. Then you've got Dan, who just loves it. Do you know what I mean? And then there's the banter between me and Kelly. The absolute savage banter between me and Kelly. And I put Kelly up there as one of the best commentators I've commentated with because it's just fun. I just really enjoy commentating with Kelly. It's just, we do a professional job. But there's an element of fun with it, and I absolutely find that absolutely fantastic.
He's a natural. He's a natural.
Very nice of you guys to say so. I'll deposit money into your accounts in a minute, just as soon as I get an opportunity. Very, very nice. Much appreciated. So, and equally, I enjoy, commentating with you guys. On your own. I mean, my experience last week. Yeah, it's difficult on your own, and it's always nice. I've done various different things in my time, BMX commentating and hosting and comparing and so on and so forth. And it's always better with a couple of people, isn't it? Yeah. You don't tend to see commentary teams as teams of one these days, do you?
No, you don't. And this is the best thing about it at the moment. I'm just going to re-go through that grid order for you. As you see, they're on their parade lap. So it is Laney who starts on pole, Fury P2. With Emo Guy in third, Bod in P4, Shoulders is fifth, Unorthodox P6, Andy in seventh with Melted Daz at 8th, Disco Racing Stu in 9th with John Boy 10th, Looty McShooty 11th, not here tonight, Military Morgan P12 and G 13th. Obviously we know Looty McShooty, Morgan and G up to 11th and 12th respectively. Excuse me, so everybody is in order as it stands as we come round to the final part of the circuit on this parade lap. The sun setting, the lights flickered on. And we're waiting to just get underway.
Who's your money on tonight, gentlemen?
We say this every week, and I think it's hard to look past G or Morgan in this category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'd put my money on G, but I want to go to my fellow worker, old Laney. It's a bit of a dark horse. Let's see how he's been unlucky a few times, but let's see how he goes. We're about to start.
Let's see how he goes. Indeed, as it's lights out and away we go. And Unorthodox in the pits. Did he get a drive-through? I wonder if Dan's had a drive-through there. When he only needs he doesn't even need to get a good start for the warm-up lap. But Laney, away well, and has already got the gap to Fury as he heads down towards turn 1.
Yes, indeed. You're quite right. Laney with an absolute flyer into turn one. He's mugged the rest of them because he's away by a second and a bit right at the moment. The rest of the field are spreading out a little bit. Down in the pits, we don't know why. We'll probably find out later. Maybe he had a drive through for a jump start or something like that. But we're on board with John Boy at the moment, who's currently in ninth. And look at all the crowded cars in front of him. There will be crashes, I guarantee you. So keep watching. Don't go anywhere. That's for certain sure.
Indeed. So it was all a bit of a. I was expecting such a dramatic start, maybe looking into turn one, and it's all a bit strung out at the moment, isn't it? But Laney,
quite clean.
Laps. It is very clean at the moment. Brilliant for the pro category. No one hitting that tyre wall. Oh, and there we go. Disco Stu straight into it. So I was about to say no one hit that tyre wall, and Disco Stu in the background clattered it. But here we go then. Emo Guy looking on the outside of Fury, a bit further up. Here's Motory Morgan, though, trying to get past Disco Stu, John Boy, and Melted Dazza G in the background. Has he
off the pace?
He's well off the pace early doors here. Morgan trying to keep it out the wall on the outside. G just trundling along in the background. Well off the back of these four who are battling tight into this hairpin corner to end the first racing lap. We go and look at Morgan, gets a good run up the inside of Melted Dazza, and Dazza gets a bit blocked in there by Disco Stu, so he had nowhere to go, and that's allowed Morgan to come through, although Melted Dazza's come out and he's trying to make this one 3 wide. Morgan's had to get out of that one then and head towards the pit wall, so he doesn't get squeezed into it as much. But Melted Dazza here then has managed to get a good run out that hairpin and get up the around the inside of Disco Stu. Is it Morgan coming up into turn one, backs out that one, and Melted Dazza actually gets out of that. Disco Stu remains his position that he came out the hairpin in.
I said I was predicting a crash. I was about to say I'm predicting a crash into turn one with these three abreast, but that didn't happen. Nothing like it. So if I give you any numbers, don't put any money on a lottery ticket because that was complete rubbish. I was talking there. As you can see, Motor and Morgan hassling the back. G's starting to catch him up a little bit now, and I don't know what Dan was playing at. Dan's like all out on his own. He's probably just drifting now. Yeah, look at him. There you go. So he's got an awful lot of work to do. These guys, as you see, the only G now catching up on this battle. These are your main contenders for this championship. Is the only G and Motor Morgan, isn't it? They're the two leading this one off. So this is the battle for them. They've got to get themselves up as high as possible and score as many good points as they can.
Indeed they do, as Morgan's going to look up the inside towards the back end of this lap and gets that job done just nicely. Although Melted Dazza will be back on the inside for this left-hander. G's trying to go the long way around, set him up for the hairpin maybe, and Morgan now dives up the inside. Oh, and he's a bit late on the brakes, gets them all locked up, and G will pick one off. Thank you, easy as you like, says the only G, and he's got the run on Morgan. As Morgan pretty much stopped the car. He did, yeah. Morgan pretty much had to stop the car, although G, in a straight line, doesn't seem to have the pace of Motor Morgan, and maybe Melted Dazza, who's fighting back at him here.
Let's see how they sort out this corner together, the three of them. Should be interesting to see this corner. Here we go.
Well, Melted Dazza's backed out of that one, and G's going to look around the outside, thinks better of it, tucks in. It's going to set him up for the roundabout section. Laney out front, 2.5 seconds up the road from Emu Guy, who has got past Fury. This is the battle, though. 4P9 on track at the moment. And Melted Dazza, wisely there, got out of that one.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, you're quite right. As we move, there's a lot more going on up and down the track at the moment. Fury, as the cameraman has nodded off there just for a moment. Fury, well, just about everybody from 8th up to 3rd is all within a second of each other. Is that somebody went into the wall?
That's Disco Stu hitting the wall again there. And I was just about to say, Disco Stu and John Boy was on with Melted Dazza and Morgan 1 or 2 laps ago. They're now on this pack just up front. And what has happened to Morgan G and Melted Dazza in the background? Because G's now behind Melted Dazza again, and Morgan's well in front. Not sure what's happened there. Has he clipped a wall? His car is clear, looks in fine form. But he's clipped the wall there.
Yes,
definitely
indeed.
kissed it there. But yeah, you're right. From 8th upwards, anybody can take P2, as Fury's now back into 2nd place. But Bod now gets him back on the run out of the hairpin, so it's chopping and changing. And while this is happening, Laney's just getting the laps, and it's 5.6 up the road.
He's way ahead. He's way out there, isn't he? 5 seconds. Wow.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we know Laney's quick anyway. From the he's only been with us for a few races, hasn't he? In different formats and whatever. We certainly know he's a quick boy because he's been showing form throughout every discipline that he's been in. So I mean, the rest of them scrap and fight amongst themselves. He's been able to stretch his legs and get away a little bit. 5.5 seconds now from Laney from second place, and it's Laney in first and everybody else in second at the moment.
It's 5.5 seconds, Kelly, that separate the leader to second place, but then it's only 5 seconds that separate second to 11th. As he is, John Boy, going to look up the inside into Andy, onto the left-hander, down towards the back straight of the circuit. And has John Boy got that move done? They're still side by side. I know John Boy through now. That was Disco Stu attacking Andy. So John Boy, good move from him. And up into P6 as Disco Stu again gives that wall a good clout.
Luckily, he cleared the tyre barrier before he hit the wall, and no real harm done. The walls don't seem to be the problem. It seems to be the tyre stacks are the problem. As we see,
shoulders very, very wide, and John Boy just gets a bit of a tap from Shoulders on the rear of his car, gets a bit of a wiggle, keeps it pointing the right way though, and has got past Shoulders for good measure as they come through the hairpin. It all sorts of Constantina's up. Motor and Morgan looked like he got a run on Disco Stu. What a gap here. Ladies out front, Dan's at the back. Nothing to do for them two in this race, but it's all in the midfield.
What a gaggle of cars, isn't it? They're all together. So tight.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And look at this. Morgan's going to go 3 wide again with Disco Stu and Andy as they come down towards the first corner. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It doesn't look like anybody wants to yield anything. Disco Stu up the inside of Andy. Andy just clips the wall maybe on the exit to the corner, and that has not allowed Morgan through like I thought it might.
No, indeed, Andy managed to hold Motor and Morgan at bay there. They all went through that first corner. I thought there was going to be an accident again. The Tier 2 guys were bouncing off that first corner, off the wall on the exit, that first corner, left, right, centre. So these guys seem to have it a little bit more dialed at the moment. Of course, everyone, and I say, it is literally the whole field from second to 11th. Are pretty much all together, which is great for me being race director because I don't have to change cameras very often. Cuts down on my work. And the guessing. We had a proper bit of crash in there. Was that Andy
John Boy?
running to the back of John Boy? Was it?
John Boy's not in that gaggle of cars anymore. Bod's also dropped down to P10, so I'm not sure what's happened to Bod. He's been picked off somewhere. Emo Guy is P9 as well. He was up the front of this pack. He's now dropped down the order, and G's got past the pair of them, and he's up now into P8. Morgan up into 6th, and Melted Dazza P7. But poor old John Boy seemed to be picking them off one by one through the field. He's back down to P11 now. The gap of these cars is separated by just over 4 seconds between second to 11th place. Laney now has an 8-second gap with 10 minutes remaining on the clock here. Laney's doing a fantastic job out front on his own. He's still pumping in the lap times as quick as G, Melted Dazza and Shoulders. Here he is, just on his own. The cleanest Clio on track, I think.
Yeah, look at that one. That isn't beaten to death. But Laney doing a cracking job. With all the just respect, it's not very interesting to watch. So let's move back to this lot. And I'm sure Laney's happy about that. If we get off him, we can't curse him. So as you watch the Only G all over the back of Melted Dazza, as they're leading on to the where are we? Back straight. Yeah. Main straight.
No, just coming up to it.
Yeah, sorry, midfield. As they come round into this section here, this is the tricky right-hander. Very easy to get it wrong, and a few guys have been up the wall. As G gets hit. And hit by Andy.
John Boy and Bod have collected the Only G, and he got hit hard there, spun into the wall, and hit hard was the Only G. Unbelievable stuff that was. So that's allowed them three to just drop off the bat there. Emo Guy's been able to keep going, and look at Emo's guys, Cleo there. They've got some work to do with the old hammer to buffer out. Pump out them dents.
Ain't going to take it out, that's for certain sure, is it? It ain't tea cutting out that, you know. I don't care how much tea cut you got.
The old panel beaters will be busy tonight on Nemo's car.
Yeah, absolutely.
No lights on half these Renault Clios, neither off on them. They've chose to run without the headlights as well tonight. As Emo Guy chasing down Fury, who hunted down Motoring Morgan. Shoulders P5, Disco Stu's 4th, Melted Dazza's 3rd. Andy's now up into 2nd place.
Is he? That was tricky, wasn't it?
This is how it goes in these Clios. They're chopping and changing. Look at Morgan. How's he managed to be in this gaggle of cars and keep his car looking so new? There's not a scratch on that car at the moment compared to what you see around them.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in beautiful condition, that one. I think it's the only straight one there. That and Laney's is the only, and Dan's are the only straight ones on the field, really. Yeah, he has kept that. He has kept that really nice. Unfortunately, there's no points for presentation at the end of the race. So, but Morgan is moving up through the field. His championship rival, the only G, pinned back in 11th now after that wall incident. And it, as I said, that wall catches even the best of them out, as G found out. So keep an eye on that section.
Shoulders just squeezing Morgan there. Morgan's had to back out of that move as Fury absolutely lunged one there. And Emo Guy's going to try and look to get round Fury. Indeed, he has done. And Bod, John Boy, and G trying to gain on the back of this pack again. Oh, shoulders.
That was shoulders.
Oh, and Melted Dazza's had a bit of a problem there. Yeah, so two of them there. Just getting
hit. He got hit by shoulders. Shoulders run into him. I don't know if Dazza kind of braked really hard and brake checked him a little bit, was trying to pick up the apex or whatever, but Shoulders definitely run into the back of him. As it's close racing through here. Look at this lot.
Very close racing. Fury's interested in making this a 4-wide event into turn 1, and Morgan and Dazza head there. Dazza just squeezes Morgan and runs him out into the wall just a little bit there. The natural line to take, and nowhere for Dazza to go. And that's just street racing, I suppose, in these Clio Cup cars. Nothing Morgan did wrong there. He's melted Dazza back up the inside through the roundabout. Job done, he says. Shoulders trying to fend off Fury at the moment, who's looking interested around the outside. Bod's in this with Emo Guy as well. Just behind these two is John Boy and the only G. Andy's been allowed to stretch his legs with Disco Stu from this pack.
Yes, indeed. Have you ever seen such tight racing as these Clios? It reminds me of was it the first time we commentated together, Matt?
Yeah.
Back at the Red Bull Ring, where we spent about 10 laps with everyone,
with the whole field.
Yeah, with the whole field, with about a second between them.
Yeah.
And as you see in the background, someone gets...
Bod and John Boy. The bonnet to John Boy's Clio just comes off now. Just a bit more damage to fix on these Renault Clios tonight. I'm sure Renault themselves would absolutely love to do this job.
Absolutely, yeah. Look at the part sales.
What's gone off with Melted Dazza there? He looked a bit slow coming through this section of the circuit. It's dropped right down the order. And Clouts Bod up the back, and then John Boy turns him round at the hairpin. And I don't think that's anything from John Boy. I just think it's the Constantino effect of stopping at that hairpin corner has caught John Boy out of it there. Yeah,
absolutely. And that hairpin is an almost dead stop. It is so incredibly sharp and slow that it is almost dead stop, so it's very easy to do. Indeed, we've only got 5 minutes left of this race as somebody's bonnet goes flying off into the
now what I've noticed as well is Morgan's got up into P4 and started to pull away from this little group of cars out front. Look at these Clios, they all look like they wouldn't be worth fixing these things. It'd be worth taking them to the scrapyard and giving them all a brand new one for race 2. That may just happen as well. There's G. There's Emo Guy into the wall that's hit Bod, and John Boy turned into the wall with Bod. So that's 3 more cars out of this. I tell you what, Dan could pick up a few places by the end of this race, the way these guys are battling here. But G just bounced all over the curb and caught Emo Guy, who went into the wall, and that then had a domino effect there. But Morgan has pulled away from Fury a little bit now and can stretch his legs and try and gain on Andy. But Fury still having Shoulders and the only G all over the back of him, battling for P5 at the moment. This is the battle you see so far. Andy has gained a little bit on Laney, so you can see Andy and Disco Stu just starting. I don't think there's enough time, 4 minutes left, 8 seconds, but Andy and Disco Stu just a bit quicker last lap.
Yeah, they've got to contend with each other here. They're having a little battle of their own that they've broken away from the rest of the pack a little bit. Morgan's trying to drag them in a little bit, but these two have got to certainly having a little bit of fun on their own. But Laney still out in front, controlling this race, nice and comfortable. Your boy, Martin?
Yeah, maybe he's taking his foot off the gas a little bit because he knows he's got it, just taking it easy, blah, blah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but just bring it home, take it nice and easy. Well, yes, the pay rise will be in the post tomorrow, Laney.
Is he on... do you pay on race wins, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, performance review next week. I'll say, yeah, absolutely, done well. So no, he's
not that it's got anything to do with your business whatsoever, of course.
Nothing to do, exactly. Exactly. So, but yeah, no, he should be all right. 7 seconds, 3 minutes left. He just needs to bring it home.
Yeah, indeed
Absolutely.
he does. I think Andy and Disco still will be more concerned about Morgan maybe catching just behind them and what's going off with trying to gain on Laney in front. Looking back, Unorthodox has managed to get past Bod though, so he's gained an extra place and isn't too far off the back of Emo Guy here. So is there a couple more places for Unorthodox in this one yet?
We're on board with Dan. He done no practice in this Clio around Long Beach. He knows the track really well, but decided, as we're going on board with the only G who managed to just get past Shoulders or Fury, Shoulders, I think. He just got past them as they had a bit of a moment. Oh, look at all this lot. This is Fury. Giving a push and a shove to Shoulders there. Look at the state of that Clio. That'll be on Marketplace on Facebook later on. 50 quid spare repair. Never raced nor rallied. So look out for that one. Don't buy it. Leave it alone.
Indeed, leave that one alone. We're at 2 minutes 15 left in this race. We're 1, maybe 2 laps left to go here, and Laney out front doing a cracking job as they go into turn 1 on board Fury. Just changed now. You see him trying to gain on the back of Shoulders. G's got past these two, so can G now sort of pull away and not be involved in this little scrap that's going off? This will be P5 for G with Morgan P4 at the moment, probably where he's going to finish as well. But what's going to happen in this little scrap here?
Fury's been very pushy with that, with the back of Shoulders there, nudging him on. It all feels a little bit Matt Neal to me, but he's certainly giving him a nudge here and there. I think he's in a Honda.
I mean, I don't know you dare.
Very easily. That's how I dare.
That Renault, like the Renault Megane from the 90s that Plato used to be in, that he'd just bump a few people round and bits and bobs.
I think you get confused, Matt, that I'm a Plato fan. Just because you've seen pictures with me, do you know what I mean? Me and Plato. I can't help if the guy keeps bothering me and talking to me. Do you know what I mean?
He's watching tonight.
Me when I go. Sorry?
He's watching tonight, isn't he, Jason?
Of course he is.
Mr. Plato,
hello, Jason. Yeah, Jason, can you stop texting me every day as well, please? It's getting really annoying. If you just leave me alone, so I, don't need to get any restraining order. Yes,
he'd love to leave you alone, but he's not drove it back of your car yet, so unfortunately he can't.
No,
as we are
if I had
on
a Honda, he'd smash right in the back of it, wouldn't
exactly, yeah. Big target on your back, just a big H. As we are onto the final lap of this race, 39 seconds left, and Laney has been fantastic. If we could just jump on board him, I think we'll be able to see him cross the line.
Where is he?
He's here. He's not going to make another lap. So 30 seconds left. He's coming down towards the back part of the circuit, and it's just been controlled from Laney tonight. She got the good start on the rolling start, and he just went from there. Disco Stu trying to pressure Andy late on, but I don't think there's enough there for him to do it. Laney just been in a different class tonight.
Yeah, he has. Well, let's see what he's like in the feature. Let's. Yeah, you know what I mean. He was on the front. Yeah. They all got stuck together. Let's see what he's like through proper race, and make sure he puts enough bloody petrol in this time. Do you remember he ran out of petrol last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Schoolboy error, but no errors this time. As Laney's coming down the start-finish straight.
There he goes.
Flash of the lights. Couple of flashes of the lights. There you go. Laney takes the win here at Long Beach and come across the line. And he's going to keep it all together for a second place. Disco Shoe in third. Motoring Morgan, a good start, good drive considering he started so way down because he's heading up the champion, or nearly heading up the championship. The only G comes in fifth. Good points for both of those. Morgan will be happy to be in front of G, but it's not lots of points. Shoulders comes in sixth. John Boy in seventh. Fury is eighth. Melted Dazza is going to come across the line to be ninth. He can't flash his lights. He hasn't got any. Emo Guy was the next one over the line.
Emo Guy P10. Unorthodox P11 and Bod P12. And at some stage of this race, Ball Laney and Unorthodox, everybody ran second, I think, at one stage of this race, then had an incident and fell further down. Laney, though, what a drive from him. Can he repeat it in race 2? We'll be right back after this quick break to see if he can. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the feature race coming up in just a moment. I believe we're clear.
Good. Nice one.
Okay, just be careful, guys, on the swearing, because I don't think we were fully out last time. So
Yep.
just in case.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Absolutely. Yeah, that went all right, didn't it?
Yeah. It's all right. It's difficult. It's difficult when you're in 3 to come in when I'm not seeing the same screen as you, but it's fine. I'll just do a back seat. It's all cool.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to, if you see something happening, then feel free to, just speak up. Definitely,
No worries.
Are you watching? Are you watching through your own mic monitor, as it were? You were monitoring.
Yeah,
the race?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see what you're seeing, right? So I can just go anywhere else around the track, and there's no point looking at the stream because it's 5 minutes out of sync, isn't it? But yeah, it's fine. I'll
I don't
come
know how
in when
to
needed.
share play you. If I knew how to share play.
Oh no, what Martin will be seeing is the same as us live, but he can do it anywhere else. We're all seeing it at the same time.
Not following. Yeah, he's not following my race direction, is he?
No.
No, but
exactly.
if he was on share play, then he would be able to, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I don't know how to say it.
Nah, don't worry about it, buddy. No, it's fine, bud. That's the only thing. I'll just come in as and when you two doing a cracking job.
So I don't know how to. If I knew how to do it,
You have to have me as a friend, I think.
yeah, that might be it. I don't have many.
We're trying
of
to
them.
do share play.
Yeah, Dan.
Right. Okay.
Someone got a drive-through.
Did you get? Was that a drive-through, Dan?
Yes. I never even touched.
Sorry, what was
I
it
never
for?
touched nothing. Just skipping the start. I didn't touch nothing. I was explaining to the guys what positions they're in, and it jumped on its own. It literally jumped on its own, and I was like, "The fuck!" Hit the brakes, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!"
Yeah.
So then I had to serve my drive-through, and I was as fast as the leaders. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Dan, just watch your swearing, because I'm not 100% sure that we are with Andy's. We're clear. Okay. Right. Fair enough. How do I do share play for Martin? Do I need to be his friend?
Wait a second.
Yes, you need to be friends with him first.
Oh God, how do I do that?
Right, go to Martin's name.
On the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, just getting there. Xmart. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on his name.
View his friend. View profile, and then you should be able to add him as a friend.
Okay. Wow, be my friend.
Oh.
Send friend request. So you should get a friend request from. Hang on, send. You should get a friend request from.
Got
me.
it. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now, Dad, go back to the party screen. So it says go to party screen.
Yeah. Share play. Yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah. Share play. Yeah. Start share play.
Is that? Hang on. Have I got to?
You should have an hour.
Okay. I've just. How do I know which one I'm share playing, or will it ask me?
It will ask you. Start share play.
Start share play. Before you start share play, internet connection, privacy. Yeah.
Yeah, forget that. Go okay.
Testing connection speed. It's good. And his name hasn't come up. Ha!
It should do.
His name hasn't come up on my list. Hasn't come up.
Yeah, I've accepted you as a friend.
You've accepted it, yeah?
The stream ended.
Yeah, G and Andy are swapping because Andy's thing is playing up, so G is now streaming.
Okay, right, let's try that again. Notification, party.
Yeah, they're swapping around, so G should have the stream, so Matt, you might have to send him a link.
Hi.
His name's not coming up. Dan.
I don't understand then. I don't understand.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, let me just... You've accepted my friend request, so that shouldn't be a problem. Friends.
Should say people in the party. Has it only come up with 4 people?
Yeah, he hasn't. He's not on my friends list yet.
Right, X Mar's not coming up. If I leave as I leave the party, he should come up. Oh no, wait, is it because he's got a PlayStation 5?
Really? I'll chip in where needed.
I think that's why.
Well, what you want to do is put that on eBay and get yourself a 4.
Right, I'll catch you all later.
You see you later, buddy. Bye.
Okay, we back on.
Welcome back then to Motive Racing. Thanks for bearing with us. We are back live now with a 15-minute qualifying for the second race. We've got Luty McShooty in the session as well. So 13 guys battling it out in the next race. Let's hope there'll be no drive-through penalties for Mr. Dan Davis in race 2, like we saw in race 1. Who gets a drive-through for starting when you don't even need to get the best of starts in race 1? I don't quite get that one, but we'll see what he can do race 2 wise. Mandatory pit stop as well in the next race. Laney took a very dominant first race win, but what can he do with a qualifying and a bit more of a bunched up grid?
Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, what can he do? We'll certainly see, because we're at the sharp end now, and you know, these guys, all the quick guys, will be looking to go for pole. So it's going to be a very different grid. I'm interested to see where Laney qualifies as well. Like, you know, so we'll see in the next 13 minutes.
Yeah, he said he's not done much practice on this. Obviously, he didn't show in his race, did it? But this is what it's all about now: is trying to get the fastest lap in, because as you see, it's so tight. So the sooner you get up the front, the sooner you can pull away, right?
Yeah, it's normally the case, as we saw in race 1. The bit of argy-bargy that we had between a lot of the drivers meant that he was able to get away quite well in that first race.
Absolutely.
I know Andy and Disco Stu started to reel him in towards the end, but he'd done the hard part early doors and got enough of a gap, as we see Dan Davis and Unorthodox and John Boy on track, about to get a lap in. And I know you said earlier that Unorthodox not practiced this circuit, Kelly.
No, well, the circuit, he knows the circuit well, but he hasn't, as we get a flash of lights from Dan, as he's probably listening to us, he knows the track really, really well, and one of his favourites, but he just hasn't been out in the Clios in it, so I don't know if he's, got a little bit too much confidence. Certainly didn't do him any good in the first race, but we're hearing that wasn't his fault, and it was a bit of a glitch in his starting procedure. So we'll see what he can do in the feature race. But I know Dan does love the track, one of his favourites.
So yeah, a bit of a glitch, he said, for the drive-through penalty. But we'll have to wait and see what he can do in race 2. He's got to qualify well here, as Unorthodox needs to make sure he's up that order, because I'm sure he'll want to take the fight to the front runners, with it being one of his favourite circuits. He gets a bit slidey coming through turn 1, and to the roundabout he comes now, and it's a tricky section of the track, this part is.
Yeah, but very rewarding. I think a lot of people find that section one of their favourite parts. Did you not say that, Martin, at some point?
You beat me to it, Kelly. It is definitely very rewarding, that part. If you get that corner beforehand, before the water feature right, with a good bit of speed, getting into that little roundabout, you can take it at some decent pelt, right? And it does feel rewarding as you're sort of accelerating out of it. So yeah, I agree, mate.
Yes, indeed. As I say, a firm favourite with a lot of the drivers, that section, as we go back on board with John Boy, who's currently fastest with a 1:30.1. I'm expecting them to see them in the 29s.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. They were doing 29s in race pace, so I'm expecting a 29 at some point tonight for the qualifying as well. We'll just have to wait and see what the guys can do and when they can do it. Obviously, later in the night we go here, so times may just slowly drop off a little bit. Later in tonight, obviously, track temperatures just drop in a little bit, and the guys having to work a bit harder. Not as much of a slipstream as well to get into the 29s while they're all spaced out a bit.
Exactly right, and we may even see a 28 if we're extremely lucky, but you're right, it's getting cooler, and these Renault Clios don't warm their rear tyres. The rear tyres just don't ever seem to get warm, so we'll see if the times do tumble as we go through this session. As we're in the 29s, the only G puts in a 29.6, We didn't see it, but he's certainly done it. So first man in the 29s, John Boy. Second man in the 29s, and goes quicker by just about 2/10.
What Lane is going to do here, actually. Sorry to cut across you guys. He's already clattered his car. He's come in with third. So yeah, he's in the 129s as well with John Boy and the G.
Probably did touch the wall in race one and has already hit the wall in the second part of qualifying. Absolutely brilliant. But yep, 3 men, 4 men now. We melted Dazza going into the 29s, who's hit the wall hard somewhere because his headlights aren't working. But these guys all getting into the 29s now. We said, will we see a 28? We'll have to wait to see. Emo Guy, Luty McShooty, Bod, Unorthodox, Shoulders all in the 1:30s. Morgan into a 32, and Disco Stu's only done a 43 at the moment. Fury Andy not yet set a lap time. Andy currently still in the pit lane as well. So we'll have to wait and see what they can do. JR Sim Racing in the chat saying that G's pretty quick around here. We didn't see that much in race 1, did we? So let's see if we can see the best that come race 2 now.
Yes, indeed. Is not G pretty quick everywhere?
Well, yeah. No, fair point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, indeed. And again, if you want to comment, please feel free. We love to see your comments on the stream. We've got currently 12 people watching, 4 likes. So please hit the like button, subscribe, go on to Facebook, YouTube, all those things, and tick all the right boxes. Better still, ring a friend. Go.
What did you say last week? TikTok, ting tong from Tooting. You said last week.
I've no idea what you're talking about. There's so much rubbish comes out of my mouth, Martin, that I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago, let alone last week. But yeah, probably. Oh dear. So yes, get involved whichever way you like. If you want to get involved in sim racing, there's a couple of brilliant people. Things to get involved in, motive racing being one of them. Sim play also, that one's all right, you know. If you want to get involved in this kind of stuff, sign up. Motive Racing is motiveracing.com. You can sign up, be a part of it. You don't need to be a pro race driver or a pro gamer for that matter. You just need to drive with the right attitude is probably the best way to put it. Race like you have got to pay for the damage, and you won't go too far short, really.
Yeah, race like you've got to pay for the damage, and that'll make you think twice before sending them on a few drivers, like we've seen at certain times where someone's gone for a bit of a reckless move, not naming any names. But Luty McShooty.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're all right. Just about to say, Luty McShooty currently on pole, 3/10, near enough, 2.5 tenths. Sorry, quicker than John Boy. We're nearly in the 29s. As Morgan's also in the nearly in the 28s. Sorry, as Morgan's also in the 29s. Yeah, heck of a lap that from Luty McShooty. Obviously, wasn't trying for race 1, but has come in here and is straight on it.
Yeah, well, very impressive that, isn't it? He's 3/10 ahead of the next driver, right? So that's really, really good. Laney, well, I'm just going back to my old mate Laney. Yeah, he's struggling out there. Look, he's slowing right down on the track. He's waiting for it to get a gap. I think he's probably got 1 or 2 more laps to give it one last try. You know, let's see how he goes.
He's in 6th at the moment. That's nothing to be sniffed at. He's in the and he's in the 29s, the last man in the 29s at the moment. But I think the times are going to tumble for a few more people. So we're not done yet. 6 minutes still left of the session. As we're on board with John Boy. This is the tricky corner that I keep talking about, where the tyre wall sticks out there. Usually catches people out. You go wide and you miss the apex. That tyre wall is what you're going to hit. If you hit it with your front corner, it usually spins the car round. Is what we kind of saw happen to G in the last race. So yeah, that can happen. It can all go wrong really quickly around here and be disastrous. So yeah, look out for that one as we go into the feature race. Remembering the feature race also has got a pit stop. The pit stop entry is right there on your right hand side as you look now, and it runs all the way down this pit straight. So all the way down through here, you're at 37 miles an hour until you find your pit box, and all the way out again. Look at this, we're at top speed here at the moment, and that pit lane is still going. The pit lane exit, now I've spoke War and Peace, is there. That's how long.
But what you need to make sure is that you're turning at the end of that yellow line. The pit exit line is the yellow line. A lot of people cut the pit line thinking that they can do so early on because it is a long old pit lane for these boys to to have to tackle with tonight, and a very slow one at that.
And look at Motoring Morgan.
The one man in the 28th, and Motoring Morgan, a 28.9, 800ths of a second quicker than Luty McShooty at the moment, and only a 10th quicker than John Boy. John Boy's improved as well, so 28.9 for Motoring Morgan. Heck of a lap that for him. He's done absolute bits at the minute. G, currently P5, and can't seem to get a good lap here to improve any time. 4/10, they're enough 5/10 off his championship rival. He'll want to start on the front row with him to make sure that championship fight might be over tonight, or at least take it to next week. I do believe G can wrap the title up tonight. Not 100% sure though. But Morgan, at the moment, finished in front of G sprint race. He's qualifying well in front of G at the moment in this feature race. And it's not the circuit you want to qualify down the order, because if you get caught up in a few incidents like we saw race 1, guys, then G could be in for a lot of trouble.
Yeah, where is he in the championship at the moment? Did you say?
G's well out in front.
Is he?
But
Right.
Morgan obviously pulling a few points back, and now qualifying pole at the moment. It all adds up, doesn't it? All these points add up.
Absolutely. I wonder if someone's going to get another, and someone else is going to get 128. A few more minutes. They tend to come in, roll in, don't they, towards the end of qualifying?
Yeah, they do.
Yes, indeed. I was just looking at the chat this evening on YouTube, and it's pretty quiet, and I was trying to work out why. And I've worked it out. Where is Prolapse? Where are everyone?
Yeah,
you know?
Good point, actually. Where's the
Nicky?
rainbows?
Yeah, where are the rainbows? I thought Nicky just kind of lived on this, do you know what I mean? And was always there. You know?
He does.
So,
Maybe he's having dinner.
Prolapse?
Maybe he's washing his hair. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, this is it. I don't know if he's putting it in curlers or whatever he's doing. But normally, I mean, he was out shopping the other night with the missus, wasn't he? Sneakily still watching the stream. So
yeah,
he's usually right there. So I hope Nicky's okay, and I hope.
I'll send him a message. I'll send. Get yourself on this bloody stream, for God's sake.
Kelly said, "Where are you?" Do you know what I mean? He's let the side down a little bit, really. Do you know what I mean? You know, I don't see a rainbow. It ain't sunshine where I am. You know, so come on, Nicky, let's have you.
The guys can pit from lap 9 in this feature race, as there's 2.5 minutes remaining in qualifying at the moment. Morgan's still in the pits. If he doesn't come out soon, he will miss that opportunity of getting another lap in as G crosses the line and moves up to P4. So he's managed to find a bit of time, but he's still near enough 3/10 off the back of his championship rival at the moment. Unorthodox has managed to get to the 29, so has Disco Stu Lane. Laney not really done a lot since he went into the 29s. 29.8 down in P8, and he's also in the 29s and down in 9th place. But Emo Guy Bod, Shoulders all in the 30s, Fury in the 32s. Well, excuse me, a lot of time for Fury to make up here.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just going on board with Luty to see how his lines are doing. He's a very, very tight driver. Absolutely, yeah. He's a very, very, very tidy driver. Coming into the last section now.
Just yes, indeed, we're on board with him as well. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're right. I'm just saying that he just needs to find a 10th here. Not a lot he needs to find, but easy enough around this track to make just that one mistake to lose the 10th that you've just probably gained somewhere.
Yeah, let's see what he does.
You know as well as I do, Matt, and Martin knows that finding a 10th can be like finding an hour at times.
Oh, yeah. You know? Like finding a needle in a haystack at times, isn't it? Just for that one little 10th. You may think you've got the pace, and you just can't seem to find that last little bit.
It is. Oh, he's just hit the wall there. He's got no chance now. This is it. The margins are so tight, right? So you clip the wall a little bit, you got yourself 2/10.
Sorry,
only
Mark,
G 128.7, 2/10 quicker than Motoring Morgan on pole, and Morgan sat in the pit lane. He ain't going to get another lap in. G's backed out that one to go to the pit, so he's not going to get a lap in. All of a sudden, Luty McShooty's 10th needed now becomes 3/10. So he's got work to do with this being his final lap of qualifying. And I tell you what, Emo Guy, Morgan and G, they're all done for this session at the moment. Andy's just gone up into P8 ahead of Laney. He's now gone into the pits. What a lap from the only G, guys.
Oh, always pulls it out of the bag, doesn't he? Always pulls it out of the bag. You know what he's like.
He's like the postman, isn't he? He always delivers.
Kelly, just a comment for you in the chat there. Nicky is here.
There he is.
Where have you been? We've been waiting for you.
He said he's been
started.
He's been playing Daisy. That's what he's been doing.
What he's been doing? What? No, I don't want to know. Actually, to be fair.
That's just not on. That's just not on, mate. I'm telling you.
The only G, Motoring Morgan, Disco Stu, Andy, Emo Guy, Bod, all in the pits. Late line to finish his time. Cannot improve. What can John Boy do? Behind it, John Boy goes up into second place. So finds some time at the end. He improves his time to go up into 8th. The top 9 separated by 9/10 of. Sure, if anybody on a lap, Fury or shoulders, maybe.
We're losing you a little bit, Matt. Are you getting that as well, Martin? We just got a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like Norman Collier off the 80s, wasn't it? It was just a little bit like that. Target reference there, kids. Google it. Yes, but John Boy just at the last minute put it up into second. Only 3 men who made the 128. So John Boy has split Motoring Morgan and G to put it on second place. Who else is on track? Only Fury's left on track, and I think he's on a slowdown. Oh no, he might be still on it.
No, he's still on it.
Yeah, he's going sideways round that corner and sideways round the next one. A very spectacular Fury, keeping your fans happy. Nicky says, sorry Kelly, it's alright, just next time, can you be on time please? As Fury's going to come and cross over the cross the line and see if he improves.
No,
he didn't. So that's the end of the session. So the only G, fastest man on a 128.7. John Boy just there, 2/10 behind in second place, and Motoring Morgan, the 2 championship rivals, first and third at the moment. Matt, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
That's sounding better. I don't know what happened there. We had I don't know if, you just seem to be breaking up. I don't know why.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again tonight. I'm back, hopefully ready to crack on with you guys for the rest of the night. I was just about to say that how Morgan was at one stage P1, looked quite comfortable for it, and G was P5, how it changes very quickly, and all of a sudden the championship leader gets the pole position that he needs.
Yes, indeed, and all to play for.
I was just going to say, they're all, like I said last week, Kelly, they're all sitting in their seats now, sizing up their setups, just checking that they've got the fuel in, checking that they've got the right setup and the right strategy for the pits. The nerves will be kicking in a little bit, and seeing the time come down, ready to hit that button to ready up. So
not only that one, Martin, as well, but there'll be one driver on the track making sure that he doesn't jump the start like he did in race 1. Whenever you jump a start, you always kind of get the nerves that next time round that you're going to do it again. So Dan will be making sure that he gets his start. And bearing in mind, for the first start, he didn't even need to jump it. So he'll be making sure that nothing happens this time round, where he'll hopefully get away nice and easy, get a good start.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, mate. I was going to say, you often find in the sprint that you do tend to do a bit of a jump.
I've seen a few people do that. Yeah, I've seen a few people do that on the reverse grids, just kind of jump in. As they've all synced in, we are all ready to go. Now you'll hear the lights come on. We've got 3 red lights. We're green here at Long Beach for the feature race, and away we go. 27 laps of this, and G did not get a very good start. John Boy's got an absolute cracker as we're heading down towards turn 1. John Boy already has the lead over G, and look at Looty McShooty, Morgan, Disco Stu, and Melted Dazzler in the background trying to go 3 or 4 wide here. It's going to be carnage into turn 1 if they stay like that. They're still 3 wide, and Looty McShooty's going to look up the inside. That's Disco Stu around the outside of Morgan. So Morgan's lost out to Disco Stu. I think so is the only G. Yes, he has. So a great manoeuvre there from Disco Stu, and a great clean opening corner there.
Yeah, very clean, very clean. Go on, Kelly.
Yes, all in. I was just going to say the same. All very clean. Although
someone's in the wall. That's Laney. Yeah, Laney's in the wall. As G looks to try and fight back to Disco Stu. Laney in the wall hard. There we saw Andy down in 12th place from the start. So not gone his way at the moment. You see Laney in the background there kind of winking at us with one headlight out. And the 2 championship rivals here battling on circuit. They're side by side, and Morgan just can't find a way through. And now he's got Looty McShooty. Hassel in the back of him. Looking around the outside. He's not going to do it around there. He'll find the wall, but manages to just stay out of it.
Yes, indeed. Good hard racing between these guys. G had a shocker of a start, went backwards, and John Boy had the better start and is now the man out in front and the one pulling away. Deja vu from the first race, really. The man in front is getting away and everyone else is behind him and fighting for the second place. As you're watching Motoring Morgan, who just gets into the back of G and then gets nudged on. Really difficult in that hairpin corner, especially when there's lots of
it's
cars.
just everybody just Constantina's up, and it's just all it's just everybody trying to tap each other. Nicky in the chat saying, where are all the likes? Guys, 19 people watching, there's only 9 likes on the videos. Let's hit that thumbs up button. And yes, Nicky, all well this week. Glad to be back in the commentary box and here for Motive Racing, so you guys can enjoy the best streams possible that we enjoy bringing you. As Disco Stu still holding off the only G, coming out the hairpin down in towards turn 1. G didn't manage to use the slipstream there to get closer or to try and make a move into turn 1, but that hairpin's just catching people out tonight. I think a few people probably braking at the normal braking point when really they should be braking just a little bit earlier. Try and get that better run out of the hairpin for someone who maybe get caught up in the back of the other car in front.
Problem is, as we all know, if you hesitate in that hairpin and someone gets the traction in front of you, you're chasing them all the way down the main straight.
Yeah, and it's a long straight. It's a long straight to chase.
You can't give it away. You can't give it away at all. So these guys bumping and pushing a little bit, but as I said, every little bit helps, as they say.
Indeed, absolutely. It does. G side by side with Disco Stu as they come down the back straight. G will have the inside line of the right-hander, but if Disco Stu can keep it there, now he's already got past. A great move from G. He's already got through that one. Then Morgan, a bit slidey coming through that corner, just dropped off the back of Disco Stu in the only G and into the clutches of Lutey McShooty a little bit more now. G though up into second place, can stretch his legs and chase after John Boy.
I think you'll start to see him get into a rhythm now. You'll start to see G get into a rhythm. Sorry, I'm not cursing you, G. I'm not cursing you, but I do think you'll start to see him get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, and commentators cursed. If anybody had the opportunity to go back and watch, oh god, I can't even think what it is now. I'll come back to you on that one because I've got to think about it. For all we said about hitting the like button, nobody has. We still got 9 likes and 21 people watching. If you could just press the like button, the guys at Motive, they just kind of get off on this kind of thing. Just humour them and make it happen. It's only the touch of a button, and they love it so much. So just do it for them, can you?
Free to do as well. It doesn't cost you a single penny.
Not a
to
thing.
Press that
nice
like
to
button,
be nice,
so,
Matt, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And it also makes me, those guys in the commentary box, feel a lot better to see all them likes for the brilliant coverage that we bring you guys. As we see Melted Dazza at the moment, just trying to stay to the back of Lutey McShooty as he's keeping the pressure on Motoring Morgan early doors in this race. For John Boy, 2.5 seconds up the road. Was it enough? Did he do enough early doors to get past G? Long old race with a pit stop. Pit window is lap 9 for those of you who's just tuned in. So the guys can pit as from lap 9 onwards in this race. As Emo Guy having a look up the inside of Melted Dazza, can't get it done. And Lutey McShooty really now started to put some pressure on Motoring Morgan.
Just reading in the comments, Nicky says if you hit the like button, you can get a free Team Prolapse t-shirt with a lovely rainbow signed by Mark, Matt and Kelly. I kind of doubt that, to be fair, right? But please do use that as an incentive. But I doubt it. 1, I don't realise that there's any t-shirts available. 2, we're in completely different ends of the country. And 3, I can't write.
Yeah, I mean, the postage from Kelly's to mine alone would be...
don't get me started about couriers.
Quite a lot to get a courier from Cornwall up to Nottingham, that's for sure. As who's that hitting the wall? Fury's into the wall. Yeah, Fury hit the wall.
Fury.
And someone else sort of went into the back. Oh, Fury.
Laney lost it a little bit. I think just a racing incident by the looks of it.
So Laney clipped the back of Fury. Obviously Fury was already stopped in the wall, so maybe Laney got caught out by Fury being there. Andy not having the best of races down in P11. It's not going well for him in this second race. Dan trying to get on the back of this pack that's all being led by Motoring Morgan, who's trying to hunt down Disco Stu, but he still has Lutey McShooty all over the back of him once again here. And G has just started to chip away at John Boy's times. G already doing qualifying pace in the race here.
Yeah, he's getting into that rhythm now. I knew he would do. Let's hope he just keeps it going. This is what it's all about with these tracks, right? He's getting in that rhythm, focusing down, not overdoing it, getting yourself into that lovely rhythm. I think he's certainly in there now.
The momentum as well of lap after lap after lap takes you forward and really can put your race together as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what Mark was saying now. I think that's kind of the ethos for any kind of racing, really, is getting yourself in that mindset. You need to drive smoother and almost slower to go faster. You know, it doesn't help you to be
overly aggressive.
And you just make silly mistakes. Let's say slower, smoother to go faster. You heard it there first. Don't worry about any other driving coaches. Just take the advice from me, who does it so incredibly the opposite to what I was saying.
This is why Lewis Hamilton's a 7-time world champion, isn't it, Kelly? Taught him everything.
Yeah,
he knew.
and I'm not.
Yeah. As Disco Stu just clipped the exit to the turn 1 wall a moment ago at the front of this queue we're on board with on Unorthodox. You see all over the back of Mtcc, who's got shoulders just in front, who's got Motoring Morgan just in front of him, and Lutey McShooty's managed to get past Motoring Morgan. We've missed that one, but Lutey McShooty's got the job done, and Morgan down into P5 now. So Lutey McShooty looking racy in this second race, and Morgan all sorts of slidey and twitchy coming through that right-hander there.
Yes,
I'm just watching. Sorry to interrupt, lads. I'm just watching Laney. Of course, I am. Bless him. He seems to be on a bit of a charge at the moment. There's some interesting races. The three abreast now. If you look at it, they're just about to get into this corner here. Oh, it's bloody tight on that corner. Sorry, I just wanted to cut across you.
No, Andy did well not to go into the wall on the outside there, and Laney up the inside keeps P9 at the moment. And these four, it's Bod just comes across the line, and Fury taps the rear of him. Fury gets past him. These four trying to gain on Emo Guy just in front, and they're all trying to reel in that big pack, led by Disco Racing Stu in front, and Laney at the moment and Andy sort of taking each other away from the guys behind.
Yes, indeed. Those two are on a bit of a recovery drive because they're both more towards the sharp end, really. So they're all on a bit of a recovery drive after incidents and accidents. As you see, Bod going very sideways. Fury, was that Fury? Yeah, Fury.
It was Fury. I think Laney's a little bit old. I'm just watching Laney and Andy. Andy's a lot smoother in through this. Sorry, Laney, I've got to say it, but he just seems to be, back to your point, Kelly, about just taking it easy, not overdoing it. And Laney just seems to be, I mean, he's got a battered car, right? You can just see it. And Andy's is nice and clean. And, I probably spoke a bit too soon. I can see Andy taking him in a second.
I was going to say at some point that I want to work for you, Mark, because all you do is ever say really nice things about your employer. That's the
you've got to.
Well, I want to work for you then, because all the bosses I've had, I mean, I'm self-employed now for that particular reason, because all the bosses I've had in the past have been unpleasant people.
Yes.
So, I'd like to work for you.
Bless you. Careful what you wish for, mate. Careful what you wish for.
The commute might be a bit of a thing, to be fair, you know.
Oh, you only need a laptop. You only need a laptop these days. That's all you need, you know.
Absolutely.
As we see here, Morgan, Stu, and Lutey McShooty have pulled away from the pack in front. So I don't know what's quite happened with Unorthodox behind, but he was with these guys at Mtcc earlier. They've dropped off off the pace.
Yeah, I don't know if he's had a bit of a. He's under pressure from Emo Guy, and Dan's kind of gone backwards a little bit because he was on the back of Motoring Morgan. Now he's under pressure from Mtcc and Emo Guy.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Mtcc was at one pack was with Unorthodox as well, so I wonder if they've had a coming together, and that's what's caused them to drop so far back.
Yeah, when did you say the pit windows open? Is it 6 or 7?
Lap 9.
Lap 9. So we're nearly there. 2 laps away from, and I'll let you know when the first people come in.
Okie dokie, as I just cut over to G because he's in half a second now with John Boy. He's caught that gap back up, he's reeled him back in, and he's now pressuring him for the lead. As you see, these guys come through the last section and into this tricky little hairpin towards before they get onto the back straight. There we go. Let's go on board. As you can see.
The thing with John Boy here that I've noticed in Clio's many a season that I've commentated now is that John Boy won't mind that G is on the back of him. It'll sort of encourage him to be that bit quicker, and especially if G gets past, he'll stick with G in the slipstream. I've seen John Boy many a time do that to someone who's caught him up, but then John Boy's all of a sudden found the same pace that they run at, and he'll give them the fight as G looks up the inside, bit of a tap on the rear, and G gets out of that one very, very quickly there, as it all stays nice and calm going into the roundabout.
G. Sorry to interrupt, Kelly. G and John Boy. They're such courteous drivers. They really are. Often I've been tussling with the G, and he's much quicker than me, but he won't lunge.
No,
you know, he won't lunge.
No, indeed.
No, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, professional race drivers, when you crash these cars in the real world, you know, it's expensive and it puts you out of a race. So, you know, in the real world, race car drivers drive like race car drivers, and that's exactly what we tried to do here with all this sim racing. Do you know what I mean? And we're all trying to be, you know, be that good at it. But the likes of G is one of those ones who is particularly good at it, and so's John Boy. And as you say, he's defending beautifully. And some people are really good at defending, and you know, I'm going to use a Brundleism. You're either giving pressure or you're taking pressure, and you have to be good at both.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing here. Taking the pressure, John Boy, giving the pressure, the only G. But John Boy doesn't seem flustered by it at all at the moment. We've just seen a lap on board G behind John Boy. John Boy did not put a foot wrong, not getting flustered at all by the pressure of the man behind him. Was a 10th quicker on the last lap.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
So the pit window is open on this lap. Sorry, Kelly. Pit window is open on this lap. So at the end of this lap, anybody can now start to pit. 27 laps in this race. We're on lap 9. Let's see what happens from here then.
Yes, indeed. The only thing I was going to say there, that just the chat's looking a lot brighter now. It's just full of rainbows, so that's more like what I'm used to. If you send that T-shirt down to me first, I'll make sure that I don't keep it and I send it on to be signed by someone else. But we'll see about that, won't we? We'll see if that happens. As we're on board with Motoring Morgan now, who's still trying to catch Looty McShooty. We see who's going to blink first for the pit stops. I will, as soon as somebody pulls that trigger, we will try to go on board with them so I can give you a graphic demonstration of how incredibly long this pit lane is and how much they're going to lose. Obviously, everyone's got to do it, so it's the same for everyone. But it's painful, absolutely painful.
It is.
I raced here in the GT5s at Motive the other week, and I tell you what, you just feel like you're waiting for ages for your pit box to appear, and then when you get into your pit box, you just feel like, again, it feels an eternity until you're out the pits and actually safely across the pit line without cutting it early on the start straight. You kind of have to turn 90 degrees to come out the pit lane, as that's Melted Dazzler, I think, diving into the pits. Yeah, indeed he is, so he's diving in now. You kind of have to turn 90 degrees pit exit to turn 1. That's how long the pit exit line is. You're pretty much, instead of just coasting in nicely, it's a 90 degree turn as we're going to pass the retired X-Mart, obviously, as he joins in the commentary box.
That's our Mart who's talking with us. He's sat in the car chatting to us. That's lovely, Mart.
That's it.
You got the heater on?
Yeah, it's nice and warm in here, mate.
So here we go. We're halfway down the pit lane now, give or take. Who are we on with? Melted Dazzler. It's his pit stop. Yep. So there you go. He's held there. He's away now, and look at it. It's never ending. Yeah. And it's still going.
The two cones there that you see in the foreground, they're the two where you can release the pit limiter, but you still can't come back onto the circuit.
No.
So pit limiter off now. You see the yellow line. Stick within that inside of the yellow line. It now turns blue. It'll go back yellow in a moment. There it is again. 90 degrees at the end of the yellow line. And look at where you are come the exit. You're so wide at the exit of turn 1. It pretty much sort of spits you out on the exit of turn 1's racing line, if you like.
It's very odd, isn't it? There's not many that... Sorry, Kelly. There's not many that do that, is there? I mean, it's a good street circuit, right? Yeah, that's often caught me out.
John Boy is, but G's got in front of John Boy now. We didn't see that on track because we were watching the pit. But G's got in front of John Boy now. We don't know where he's done that. So G, the only G out in front at the moment, as we go into lap 11.
G leads. Emo guys as well picked himself up a time penalty there. You see the red on his position number 6 position for Emo guy. Means he's got a time penalty added to his time at the end of this race. We can't see what it is. The drivers on track will know what it is if they run with that display on the screen. We'll find out at the end of the race. But for Emo guy here, got to make sure he finishes a few seconds in front of Dan, which he isn't at the moment.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm just watching Dan right now. He's very, very close to Emo, isn't he? He's giving him a bit of pressure now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a 1 second penalty for Emo guy.
Oh, there we go. So he's got to at least be a second ahead of Dan.
Yeah, because if I do that, I can see the things. There you go.
Yeah, we all get to see the same thing. Yeah, we all get to see the same thing.
Yeah.
Fury in the pits from P.
Dan.
12, so he's now dropped down to 13th place, and he's in the pit lane. As you see, the nice fancy track map that Kelly's actually loaded for us, there just shows you how long this pit lane is. Look at the red line. So there's the length for the pit lane, but you're still having to stay to the outside wall until 90 degrees at turn 1. So you pretty much look at the length of the straight that you're actually on the pit limiter for. It's incredible.
And it's very easy when you turn, as you say, you come out of the hairpin and then you turn almost.
Sorry, Kelly, here's the thing.
Right.
Watch for Fury exiting the pits here, because the guys lapping Fury now, the normal typical line is to cut over the pit exit line. These guys aren't going to be able to, because Fury's going to be coming out the pits. He's a lap down. Look, there they cut across the line. Had Fury been a bit slower in his pit stop, they wouldn't have been able to have done that, compromising your turn into turn 1 for the guys at Racing Speed.
Yes, and I was just about...
Dan giving Emo just a bit of a tap up the rear there.
Ian was already on 2 wheels at the time and had cut onto the corner, and I think he was just collecting that up as Dan was right behind him. So I think that was a racing incident, that one. I was gonna say the pit in is extremely dangerous because it's immediate right, as you said, Matt. As soon as you come out the hairpin, it's immediate right, and if you cut across somebody you're racing with, they can collect the back of you on the way in. And on the way out, as again, you were expertly.
You've really got to make sure that if you're side by side, if someone's in close quarters with you and they get a better run out of the hairpin than you can't pit that lap that you may have wanted to pit, because you've really got to watch what you're doing here. As that's Fury staying out of Emo Guy on the Northlands Way. You've really got to watch what you're doing. Pit exit and pit entry here, a very, very strange circuit. And
they still run it, currently for IndyCar. And IndyCar being, give and take, probably, pound for pound and power as good as Formula One, or as quick as Formula One. That's an awful lot of power and tricky car to be running around this street circuit and in and out that tricky pit lane. But saying that, Formula One go to Monaco, so there's drivers and there's drivers, isn't there?
Yeah, I suppose at the end of the day, Rascasse coming out the exit to Rascasse is exactly the same as coming out here at the hairpin corner here. It's immediately right out there at the exit to Rascasse. So the pit exit's probably a bit easier because it brings you out up the hill. Instead of into turn 1, so that's a bit easier probably. But Rascasse pit entry at Monaco, pretty much the same as what it is here at Long Beach. John Boy has got back in front of the only G here. Missed that one again. As we was watching Dan fight with Emo Guy, but John Boy back in the lead. And I said this about John Boy: he won't mind the pressure from G behind, and he won't mind if G gets in front. Lutey McShooty stayed in front of Motory Morgan. Disco Stu's now behind the pair of them, so Lutey McShooty's managed to get on the podium and is keeping a good distance to Motory Morgan at the moment. Andy's got himself up into P8. Laney's still down in 9th, with Emo Guy 6th, on Northland 7th. Bod's 10th, Shoulders 11th place. Melter Dazza's 12th and has been the first of the pit runners. Fury's 13th and has pitted as well, as she just tried to get a bit of an undercut on the exit there of the hairpin corner and just tapped the back of John Boy, but let John Boy retain his position.
Yes, indeed. So we did, and if you're new to watching and 19 people watching, 12 likes, come on guys, it's a like button, just press it. If you're new to this and you don't quite know how these things work, look, G closes in really close on that first corner. If you don't know how this works, we can only actually see what you can see as race directors. We don't have obviously don't have a studio full of cameras and feeds to be able to swap. So we only see what's in front of us. The only way we can indicate that.
One thing to add to that tonight, Kelly, is that we've actually got Martin here, who can actually tell us if there's a battle happening on track.
He can. Yes.
Instead of that little exclamation mark we get.
Yes. Absolutely. Do you know what I was doing? I was looking on Wikipedia. I was going to ask you a question, actually, because just coming off what Matt was talking about, street circuits.
Sorry, Mark, because G's up beside. He's got past John Boy on the straight. He got a better run into the corner. And he's in front again.
And across to defend his line, John Boy, who's just helpless there, and he can't get that move back round the outside, and it's not helped him coming into this last part. Can he get a good run into the hairpin? Maybe a good exit of the hairpin corner. You see G takes it a lot tighter than what John Boy does, and they both get away. John Boy will now have the benefit of the slipstream down the start straight.
G's away, sorry, he's Martin. Pulling away. No, it's fine, no problem. Sorry, I was going to ask you guys a question. This was a Formula One circuit at one point.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, just looking here, and it was the first to Formula One circuit in '76.
That's right.
And it was last to Formula One circuit in '86. So
there we go. That was a whole 6 years before I was born.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. Well, you're not that young, are you? Bloody hell, you're doing well. You're not as old as me and Kelly.
I got my driving licence in 86?
I got mine in '87, so you're just a year before me.
Sorry, 88 I got my driving licence. I tell a lie. You said 86. That rung a bell with me. Yeah, no, 88 I got my driving licence. Yeah, that's when Matt was just still a mere boy.
I wasn't even a boy. I was 4 years before I was born when you learnt to drive. When Mum and Dad hadn't even thought of me by that time at that stage. I was still waiting to be developed as we see John Boy still on the back of G. Didn't realise that was an F1 circuit though, this track. There you go.
Yeah.
That shows
Didn't Mansell win on it? Did Mansell win on here?
I'll check it out. Yeah. 86 was it? Yeah, he was driving in '86, wasn't he? Let me check it out.
He was. I got a feeling he won. That Mansell won here.
Oh, here goes John Boy. Sorry, Kelly. John Boy up the inside of G into the hairpin, and they both just tap a little bit there. And G, I think, ended up in the wall. We couldn't quite tell from our view, but I'm just watching it back on the stream, which obviously just a slight bit delayed. I can see the replay next to me. And yeah, John Boy, a heck of a lunge round the outside of that little left-hand bend, up the inside into the hairpin. G saw him coming, gave him plenty of room. They just touch on the exit, but John Boy back into the lead of this race.
Yeah, and G did give him a lot of space, didn't he? He was very respectful. I was watching watching the stream as well there. It did give him plenty of space to make that one stick.
Has Laney pitted because he's dropped down to P12 here? So I wonder if he's pitted, come out behind Motor and Morgan, and so has Dan as well, because he's now 43 seconds off the lead and down in P10. Oh, as he's just absolutely. Yeah. There's a hairpin there, Dan. That's not even the quickest corner on the circuit, and you've still managed to find the wall. Quite interested how you've done that one, but yeah, are them two pitted? That's the question.
Yeah,
a good question. Yes, and a good question.
To answer your question, Kelly, about Mansell on this circuit in Formula One, yes, he did in '81, '82, and '83, all with Lotus. All with Lotus.
And I was going to say Lotus as well. I was trying to think of what he was driving. That isn't bad, is it? That wasn't bad Formula One knowledge.
Yeah. Nigel Mansell, if it's won the championship the year I was born with the Williams, I do believe. So
another Brummy, isn't he? Mansell, as well as Matt Neal.
I don't know. I know Matt Neal's a Brummy.
Yeah.
I could tell you about.
I think
Nigel Mansell is John Boy. Yeah. John Boy, then the race leader, enters the pit lane. Luty McShooty gaining on G and John Boy while they was battling there. Mansell, yeah. It was weird because I was born 92, Mansell won it for Williams. 96, my brother was born, Damon Hill won it for Williams. And then 99, my sister was born, and Mick Hakkinen won it for McLaren. So that ended that run of Williams and drivers' champions. But yeah.
There you go.
Great team, Williams. Mansell also, they were a great team. And now Mansell also won at Long Beach when he was driving an IndyCar as well.
There you go. Didn't do so well in touring cars, but we'll gloss over that.
Yeah.
He was rubbish in touring cars. And we said it. I think we said it before, Matt, wouldn't we? We'd love to get Lewis Hamilton in a touring car. British touring car. Lewis Hamilton in a quick one. And I'd love to see, because I think the quality of British touring car is world class.
I don't even think put him in a quick touring car. I think just put him in a good car that's comfortably mid-pack. Will maybe get the odd reverse grid front row start and maybe the odd reverse grid win. But I'd love to see how Lewis Hamilton would fare in the touring cars, getting bashed around by the likes of Plato and Sutton and Neil and everybody.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you what, they wouldn't treat him as a 7-time world champion in Formula One. They treat him as another guy just to bash around the circuit, and that'd be absolutely brilliant to see if Lewis Hamilton spat the dummy out the pram, so to speak, if he got battered about a bit.
I don't think he'd ever put himself up for it, would he? I mean, he was asked to do sim racing first lockdown, wasn't he? When they were all doing sim racing, and Leclerc and Russell and Albon all driving really, really well in the sim race, and he was asked to do it, and he declined, didn't he? I don't think he would ever get involved and put himself in that position.
Do you know what I could see? I could see him owning a team in the touring cars, purely to allow his brother to drive. Although his brother is actually meant to be driving on the grid next year, not announced what his team is, but he has signed a contract. Nothing's came out. I think that we're just waiting for the team to announce it. So we'll wait to see who that's with.
I was at a go-kart track with his brother. Sorry to interrupt, Matt. I was at a go-kart track a couple of years ago with his brother. He was handy on those go-karts.
I tell you what, I met his brother the other day. Took my 2 kids to Donington with the wife, and I tell you what, Nick Hamilton, nice guy. Dan, really top quality guy.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
He struggles because he's disabled.
Cerebral palsy.
He struggles. Yeah, he struggles for days afterwards when he drives a touring car.
He's
in so much excruciating pain.
I think he said, hasn't he said before that when he drives, his ribs can just pop out at any moment when he races. Yeah. So you imagine,
absolutely.
And let's put it this way, Kelly, you'll know more about this circuit than me, but going through church and then all of a sudden one of your ribs just pop out. I would not fancy that. I would not fancy that. As we see John Boy on the back of Shoulders, but John Boy has pitted, Shoulders yet to pit, and I do believe that Unorthodox must have pitted because he's about 8 seconds off of John Boy. He was relatively that prior to the pit stop, so I do believe that Dan has pitted. Bod has also been into the pits, so has Laney, Melted Dazza and Furious. John Boy gets past Shoulders and Shoulders letting him go. He didn't get the best runs coming through that corner. He clipped the wall. Knows he's not in a fight with John Boy, so lets the what could be theoretical race leader through. We'll have to see when G pits.
And just in the comments, Pure Motorsport MA, I guess Hamilton won't join Mercedes in 2021 for a touring car drive. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? He doesn't bother taking up the 40 million or 50 million for Mercedes, but joins
signs for West Surrey Racing in the BMW.
Racing. For 30 quid,
30 quid a week, £10 and a cup of coffee if you get a race win bonus.
Absolutely, and a Prolapse t-shirt signed by us. Looty McShooty is right on the back of G.
Yeah, G looks like he's been in the wars here, Kelly. He's lost a headlight, and that front bumper of the Nicholas Hamilton liveried Renault Clio, it says Hamilton on the back windscreen while we're on about the Hamilton boys. G looks like he's been in the wall somewhere.
Yeah, could well be, because Looty's moved has caught him up really quite quickly.
Yeah, Morgan not being able to come with Looty McShooty like I thought Morgan would, and G's going to actually dive into the pit, so I wonder if G made a mistake this lap. Morgan's going to follow G in as well. Yeah. So
they're both in the pits.
So the interesting one now is to keep our eyes out. Where's John Boy? If he was in the lead when he pitted and G's had an incident in the wall, John Boy could come out quite comfortably over G at the moment. So I'll have to keep an eye on John Boy. There he is. You see the white dots in the pit lane at the moment. They're still moving. They're not yet in their pit boxes, I do believe. But John Boy has a couple of corners to go before he's on the back of the Omni G. Disco Stu into second. Emo Guy into third. Andy's now gone up into fourth. And them 2 white dots now sit still. One's now away. That'll be the only G, I imagine. Yep, back in front of Morgan as he's leaving the pit lane now. But he's still got a fair way to go. While he's only doing 37 mile an hour, John Boy's going to be well into a ton. And he's going to fly past G and Morgan. Morgan is actually closer to G than what he was when he pitted.
There he comes down the straight now. Yeah, he's going to be flying past them. You're right there, Matt. Hang
on. G's into the pit lane exit. And John Boy's done it. He's in front, but just.
Yeah. Very close, very close. And John Boy. So effectively, Andy is the last person to pit in that group. So Andy hasn't pit, has he?
Yeah, I do believe Andy, Shoulders, Emo Guy, Disco Stu, and Looty McShooty yet to pit in this session at the moment.
I don't know. You guys keep up with it all.
Well, you know me, Kelly. Normally on a Thursday night when we commentate over at Simply, I've got it all down in my notes as Looty McShooty now into the pit lane. So Disco Stu, unless he pits this lap, will inherit the race lead. Yeah, looks like he stayed out. What will Emo Guy and Andy do? I'm just looking at their dots coming down the map. Looks like Emo Guy's going to come in, and I think Andy as well coming into the pits. So Looty, Emo Guy and Andy all pitting then. Disco Stu yet to pit. And they're on lap 20 of 27. The leader just started lap 21. These guys are on lap 20 of 27. And G, work to do with John Boy again here because he's had a good battle with John Boy pre-pit stop. And that battle's going to continue into the final 7 laps of this race as it looks a bit lighter here at Long Beach.
Yeah, it's got lighter, not darker.
Yeah, it's got a lot lighter.
Yeah.
So what can John Boy do? So they're all coming past now. Looty McShooty is on pit exit. And don't forget Looty McShooty was on the back of the Only G, so this could be even closer. Oh, and there's the problem with the pit exit. You see John Boy cuts across And it's a good job Luty wasn't up to speed there, but Luty is a lot closer to G due to the G having the problem before the pits. So this, a three-way battle effectively for the race leaders. Disco Stu and Andy's got to pit still.
Yes, indeed. It's exactly what you were saying. And G's entry into that corner was compromised then by having to... quite rightly having to avoid Luty McShooty. Luty was absolutely in the right and following the pit lane exit, but it does compromise whoever's coming down that straight, and that was the perfect example of it, for sure.
And I tell you what, it can happen if guys are side by side with each other or anything. It could ruin somebody's race. And let's not forget, that could have been this could be for the race win at the end of it. How you'd have hated to have gone into the side of someone on pit exit. There really ought to be a ruling in that you know, when the pit window opens, don't cross the pit exit line. I know it helps you run into turn one, but just for the guy's safety more than anything.
Yeah, don't give them any more ideas at Project Cars, guys, and not for the life. I can't think for the life of me who the programmers are now. It comes up every time on the screen. I can't think who they are. But don't give them any more reason to put any more rules in, Matt. For God's sake, you know the slowdowns are bad enough.
I meant if you was a league owner and you was to come to this track as a league owner,
absolutely.
Put it in as a bit of a rule for this track and this track only, obviously, you know, and. As G all over the back of John Boy coming into turn one, he's really starting to put some pressure on him now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just saying now. G took that line.
Dan, as we just cut to him. Sorry there, Martin. Dan into the wall as we cut to Unorthodox. Straight on at turn one and into the wall he goes. P8 is Dan. He was ahead of motoring Morgan. He's not no more. And here goes G on the battle with back to this battle with John Boy and him. Luty McShooty sat just behind, watching these two unfold. I'm sure he'll be praying that these two may tap each other, just so he can claim two people easier than what he'd have liked. But G really starting to hassle the back. Martin, what was you saying?
No, I was just going to say, Matt, that as you were saying, the line that G took right the way across the pit lane exit to allow him to get that speed into the corner was just perfect. You know, it was an absolutely superb move, and just shows you how much you need in this track to get that corner right.
Yeah, it really does. You've really got to make sure you're on it, as well as sort of be aware of the other guys around you before you actually do lunge into turn one, because it can catch a few people out. Look at Luty McShooty, really hassling the back. He'll have the benefit of a double slipstream here. Disco Stu and Andy still yet to pit, so them guys still to come in. So this is technically a battle for the net lead here. And I know Andy's
see how close they are.
Yeah, it's what is it?
So close.
Half a second over the line, I think, just a bit more than that.
Luty can almost stick his hand on G's shoulder.
Oh, John Boy straight on at turn one. He would have clipped the tyre wall there. We haven't. I'm sure we can pan back just see where. Oh, John Boy, he's not lost too much time, but he's obviously lost the two places. Yeah, just too deep into that corner. And like you said earlier, Kelly, slower, smoother into the corners you go. You'll be faster through the track. You do not want to run too deep into turn one, especially here.
Not with these two guys behind you.
Is it 4 laps left to go now? Is it 27?
Yep, 23 or 27.
We're in for a spectacle here with these three. We are in for a spectacle, absolutely. I can say that.
These Renault Clios are absolutely brilliant in a slipstream. It helps you pull away from the other drivers like mad. They're great fun to watch, as well as G and Luty both clipping that wall. They'll lose a bit of a run through that corner compared to John Boy. And look at the double slipstream here that John Boy's got. He's going to run out of room.
How is it all the mirrors are still on these cars?
The magic of esports racing. Everything else can damage. You know,
everything else has fallen off, but the mirrors are fine.
Yeah, your boot can come off and your bonnet can come off, but the mirrors, they're the toughest part of the car.
Yeah.
The toughest part, I tell you that, within 5 seconds of a Clio race in real life, the wing mirrors are gone or bent in or, you know, smashed up. As Andy is in the pits, and look at the run that Luty McShooty's got on the outside of G. He's now going to set G up. G just comes across, cover him. John Boy watching this battle. Luty's going to be up the inside of G, and I tell you what, John Boy's go, did he look to the outside? He had a look, he thought about it. Luty up the inside, and he gets it stopped and turned in.
Great move.
Cracking job there from Luty McShooty, and now G's got pressure from John Boy. Andy then in the pits. Where will he return to the track? He's out the pit lane. Now he can take his limiter off. He's going to lose about 3 places here. Morgan down in 9th place at the moment.
Unbelievable.
Morgan having a disaster.
They're crisscrossing like your grandmother's crochet, these three. They really are.
It's absolutely fantastic to watch. Disco Stu, 24 seconds up the road, but yet to pit is Disco Stu, so he's got to come in for his mandatory stop. I tell you what, I don't know who's going to win this race. As G again clouts the wall, so does John Boy. I don't know who's going to win this one. Disco Stu is in the pit.
And they keep all their mirrors, funnily enough, as they bounce off the wall once again. Oh, there we go. Look, I was wondering where Looty was, but Looty was pulling a little bit of a gap as they both go close to that wall. As they come round to the hairpin, we'll see how...
and John Boy, he's going to try this dive into the hairpin again. Oh, G keeps it very tight.
No, that is close.
Just kissing that rear end of G's Clio there. Are these guys going to jump Disco Stu? Of course they are. He's still in the pits. Of course they are. Someone has retired from this race. I'm not quite sure who. Just trying to...
hard to tell. Don't know.
Someone's retired. Can't see who's retired, but somebody has.
2 laps to go, and these three, it's still anybody's race from these three. John Boy, the only G, and Looty McShooty are you guys. Although Looty is beginning to just gap a little bit from these guys. He's going to want to try and keep it clean. Like water, Looty, if you're listening, like water, smooth. Smooth is good. Just stay away from them because they're having enough problems fighting themselves. But it's still anybody's race out of these three.
Yeah, at the moment, these guys having a cracking battle on the circuit. Looty McShooty just stretching his legs a little bit, but don't discount G and John Boy. And I'll tell you what, Looty's really brought himself into this race because he was nowhere near these two before the pit stops. And that pit stop he's done has helped him no end to get into the lead of this one at the moment.
He's done a fantastic job. Sorry, Matt, hasn't he? Because when you see G and John Boy were away. So he's certainly done a fantastic streaming those laps together.
He's really put them together well and been consistent. Great pit stop from him as well. And it's just all gone his way at the moment. But there's still 2 laps to go here. As we're coming to the end of lap 25, about to start lap 26.
Just looking on the stream that Pure Motorsport, the inside of turn 1 has no grip to the lack of rubber deposit there. Yeah, absolutely. But there's multiple lines into turn 1. We see G trying to cut to that inside and to make the move stick.
Morgan,
have another go at it.
It's Morgan that's retired.
Is it? Oh, of course it is. Yes.
I've just noticed the car in the pits. It's Motoring Morgan that's retired. Has that Gev G the championship before next week? It's Motoring Morgan that's retired from the race. Golder's now pits on the penultimate lap, so he's going to lose a few places there. But Motoring Morgan retired in the feature race here. And Looty McShooty's hit the wall, and G has a bit of a look up the inside.
Oh, he couldn't make it stick. He got away with that because he had a little bump in the wall, and G couldn't make advantage of it. Although G's running. Oh, look out! Look out! John Boy down the inside. I wouldn't have done it there, and he didn't, to be fair. But he had a look at it. That was for certain sure. These guys still going at it tooth and nail for the win. Any one of them can have it.
Any one of them can have it. You're absolutely right there, Kelly. And I tell you what, Looty put it in the wall, and you thought G was going to come back at him. Then he clips the wall, and John Boy has a look, and it's anyone's game at the moment. One little mistake like that on the next lap, and I'd be sure that someone would go for that move. Although G doesn't really need to risk it. P2, Morgan not getting any points, not finishing here. Brilliant, just what you wanted. But John Boy, what could have been? Could it have been the race win that he'd have liked? He's not going to get it at the moment.
G's had a great turn out of that corner, that hairpin. He's right up him right now. This is what it's all about. Close racing, Clios, love it, absolutely love it.
27 out of 27 on the start line. Look at the run that G's got. Is he going to look up the inside? He pulls out now as we head down towards turn 1. This is from John Boy. G looks up the inside, and he's not got it stopped. He's into the tyre wall, and the only G has not got it turned in. John Boy up into P2, and has that just made Looty McShooty the race winner here? Unorthodox in the pits from P7, so he's going to lose quite a few places. So he didn't clearly pit. So Unorthodox had just had a bad second race, but the only G 5 seconds off the back of the leaders now, and Looty McShooty's trying to defend from John Boy. They're in the same livery. There's no constructors or teams game in this championship. Just because you're in the same livery doesn't mean a great deal. They can still fight each other, and let me tell you now, they probably will. Although Looty McShooty sat P3 in the championship, not too far off the back of Motoring Morgan. This could really help him try and claim P2 in the title. if with Morgan not scoring points. Yeah, John Boy flashing. Not quite sure why.
Probably giving it to Luty, maybe. You know, they've had a good battle. Yeah, what a race! What a race! Fair play.
Morgan just commenting saying the PlayStation 3 times in 3 laps you get frame rate drops. So I wonder if that's not
whatever
what
that
Morgan
means.
wants. But here he comes then, Luty McShooty out the hairpin. They're both synchronised, flashing here. It's going to be Luty McShooty to take the race win, and then John Boy P2. What could have been for the only G? I think mathematically he has won the title. I'm not quite sure though. He crosses the line P3. Disco Stu, quiet one for him in the second half of this race to cross the line into 4th. Andy will come across the line in P5. Already flashing his lights as he comes out.
Andy, was it?
No, he was at the back early doors and he's come through the field nicely there. So Andy crosses the line in P5. Emo Guy P6 with his time penalty should keep it over Melted Dazzers. Melted Dazzers way back on Emo Guy. Let's just see as he crosses the line. Yep, keeps P7, does Melted Dazzler. Emo Guy 6th. Laney P8 to go with his P1 in the sprint. Not the second race he'd have been hoping for. His Clio does not look as sharp as it did early doors. And a battle here to the line for P9. This is Shoulders defending from Bod as they come up towards the hairpin corner for the final time. And Bod's going to have a little look, and he was never going to get it. Yeah, backed out and flipped the wall. Oh, what a shame. He had a look. He had a bit of a go at the final corner. But Shoulders is going to come home to take P9. Bod P10. And Orthodubs P11 then.
Should have practiced, Dan.
Yeah. Fury going to take P12 a lap down. He's coming out the hairpin corner now. And obviously Morgan P13 and retired from this race. But that is all we've got time for here. What a drive for Luty McShooty in that second race. Guys, any last words?
Just go on, mate. Go on, Kelly.
No, after you, Martin. You go.
I was just going to say, great race in there. Luty, John Boy, the G. That's what it's all about. Clean, fair, but really exciting. Over to you, Kelly.
Yeah, Clio's never fails to disappoint. Great racing from everyone up and down the field. These cars aren't easy. So, yeah, great racing from everyone. Next couple of nights, Motive take a rest for a couple of nights, and Simplay is the place to be tomorrow night for the Pro-Am at, don't tell me, oh God, the one that used to be Formula 1. Daytona.
Algarve.
Of course it was. That was close. That was close, wasn't it? Only just like the other side of the world. Tomorrow night on Simplay Pro-Ams, Wednesday night, Thursday night, the pros. I'll be there to help Matt with the commentary if you want me.
Yeah, of course, every week.
And you'll see X-Mart. You driving that one?
No,
which one, mate?
Smokey's in that one.
No, I'm not.
Right. No, okay. Well, we'll hope to see you round and about for that one. Look out for Sunday night is touring cars. There's a whole load on Friday and Saturday night, but I don't care about that because I don't do them. Touring cars Sunday night, wherever we're going Sunday night. Willow Springs Sunday night.
Willow Springs, yes, fast circuit.
Yeah,
fast circuit.
yeah,
I was trying it today. Good one.
We're back live.
I had a quick go round as well. Yeah.
We're back live Friday
guys,
night here on the Motive channel for the Formula 1 and the GT5s. We are. I'm not sure if we're live again tomorrow for the multiclass on Assetto Corsa. I know it had problems last week. Wait and see if we're live tomorrow night for the Assetto Corsa multiclass for that one. But I'll be back on circuit Friday night in the GT5 and Formula 1. GT3's on Saturday night. No, not GT3. Yeah, GT3's on the Saturday night and the Formula Renault. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll be back in the commentary box on Sunday for the touring cars around Willow Springs. But guys, thanks for all tuning in. Only 15 likes on the video. Those who's not liked, hit that thumbs up button before we go off air. We're going to we're going to leave now, and we're going to end this one. Guys, from all of us here at Motive Racing, take care, stay safe in the current climates, and pleasure as always. We'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
We're out.